used to watch the sunset from our favorite wooden porch. You were the light that held the flame. You were my guiding torch. We talked about the future like it was written in the stars. But now the night is jagged and the constellations ours. I'm looking for the indigo, I'm looking for the gold, but everything is gray now, and the air is turning cold. I used to think the horizon went on and on forever, that nothing in this universe could ever hope to sever the way the blue met up with green at the ending of the day. But then you took the color when you walked the other way. And now I'm standing under a broken sky, where the clouds don't move and the birds don't fly. There's a crack in the moon where your shadow used to be, and the rain feels like glass falling down on me. How can the world keep turning when the ceiling's falling through? It's just a broken sky since I lost the heart of you. I try to find a silver lining in the thunder and the dark, but there's a heavy silence where there used to be a spark. The lightning is a memory of the way you used to laugh, splitting every hope I had right down the center half. I'm reaching for the heavens, but the clouds are out of reach. Just a hollow, empty lesson that I didn't want to teach. Maybe if I gathered all the pieces on the ground, I could bridge the distance to the love that can't be found. I'd glue the stars back in their place and paint the morning bright. But I'm just a girl in pieces, shivering in the night, beneath a heavenscape that isn't holding tight. Yeah, I'm standing under a broken sky, where the clouds don't move and the birds don't fly. There's a crack in the moon where your shadow used to be, and the rain feels like glass falling down on me. How can the world keep turning when the ceiling's falling through? It's just a broken sky since I lost the heart of you. The blue is gone, the stars are wrong. I'm just waiting for the light to break underneath this broken sky. Just me and the broken sky. The leaves are turning brittle, painting shadows on the street. I'm pulling on your old wool coat to hide from the retreat of the warmth we built together when the July sun was high. Now the geese are forming ribbons in a pale and bruising sky. I used to love the change of colors, the crispness in the air, but now the garden's dying and I'm the only one still there. The calendar is lying, it says the year is over. time stopped moving forward when I lost the sight of you. Every frost upon the window is a map of where we've been, tracing out the might have beens underneath my skin. It's a lonely season and the nights are getting long. I'm humming half a melody to a half-forgotten song. The flowers are all sleeping under blankets of the gray, and I'm just trying to figure out how to make it through the day. Winter's at the doorstep, but the chill is in my bones. God, it's a lonely season when you're facing it alone. I saw our breath in silver clouds just a year or two ago. We were laughing at the shivering, we were waiting for the snow. Now the porch swing is just rattling against the siding of the house, and the silence in the kitchen is as heavy as a shroud. I'm making tea for one tonight and staring at the steam, watching how the autumn mist can swallow up a dream. They say that everything must wither so the spring can have a start, but there's no bloom for a hollow chest or a frozen, tired heart. I'm drifting like a fallen leaf, untethered from the tree, wondering if the harvest took the very best of me. It's a lonely season and the nights are getting long. I'm humming half a melody to a half-forgotten song. The flowers are all sleeping under blankets of the gray, and I'm just trying to figure out how to make it through the day. Winter's at the doorstep, but the chill is in my bones. God, it's a lonely season when you're facing it alone. The birds have all flown south, the fire's burning out. I'll just wait here for the white to cover up the ground. Lonely season, it's just a lonely season. I'm standing in the hallway, watching the light change on the wall, tracing all the shadows where we used to stand so tall. I've packed away the pictures and I've emptied out the drawers, but I'm lingering in the doorway of a life that isn't ours. My heart is like an anchor sinking deep into the floor, as I realize I won't see your keys beside the door anymore. My mind is memorizing every line upon your face before the ghost of us becomes the ghost of this whole place. I'm holding on to the friction, the sting and the regret, 'cause as long as it still hurts, it means you haven't left me yet. And this is the last to cling. You haven't even walked away, but I can feel the space, the cooling of the air, the steady slowing of the pace. We're talking about the weather just to keep from breaking down, while the weight of never again is pulling us both under to drown. I wanna scream, I wanna fight, I wanna make a scene, just to keep the fire burning in the spaces in between. For the power of the feel, before the numbness takes over and the world goes perfectly still. Yeah, this is the last feeling I'll ever have with you, before the red and gold of us turns into stone and blue. I'm breathing in the heartache just to keep the embers warm, the quiet before the silence, the end of the storm. I'm not ready for the nothing, so I'm holding on to the sting, because this last feeling is the only thing I have left to cling. One last ache, one last break, one last tear, for old time's sake. Now I'm letting go of the pain. Now there's nothing, just the rain. I'm looking in the mirror, but the glass is looking back at a silhouette of someone lost in a shade of deepest black. I remember how it used to beat a rhythm strong and true, like a drum inside a canyon when I was close to you. But the pulse has gone to a whisper, a flicker in the dark, searching for the embers of a long extinguished spark. It didn't break with a crash, it didn't shatter on the floor. It just drifted like a vapor through the cracks beneath the door. I'm reaching for the center where the warmth used to reside, but I'm finding only hollow shells and empty space inside. Somewhere in the distance is my vanished heart, lost in the static, torn right apart. It didn't leave a map, it didn't leave a trace, just a cold and quiet vacancy taking up its place. Now I'm walking through the world like a ghost in the street, trying to remember how it felt to feel a beat. Feel a beat. I saw your car turn the corner and I waited for the sting, for the tightening in my chest that a memory should bring. But there was nothing but the winter, nothing but the gray. The ghost of every feeling is finally blown away. It's a different kind of morning when the pain begins to fade into a colorless horizon that you and I have made. Did I give it all to you till there was nothing left for me? Did it sink into the depths of a dark and frozen sea? I'd rather have it broken, I'd rather feel it bleed than this terrifying stillness that is all I have to read. Give me back the ache, give me back the fire. Anything is better than this wire on a wire. But it's somewhere in the distance, my vanished heart, lost in the static, torn right apart. It didn't leave a map, it didn't leave a trace, just a cold and quiet vacancy taking up its place. Now I'm walking through the world like a ghost in the street, trying to remember how it felt to feel the beat. Can't find the rhythm, can't find the spark, just a hollow echo wandering in the dark. Vanished, completely vanished. Shadows are stretching long across the floor, tracing the path of your shadow toward the door. The clock on the mantle is the only sound I hear, counting down the seconds until you disappear. I'm sitting in the kitchen where the air is turning thin, trying to find the girl I was before the dark set in. I'm reaching for the switches, but the power's gone away. There's no more gold or honey at the ending of the day. Just a heavy violet curtain falling down on everything, and the cold metallic rattle of a discarded wedding ring. And I'm standing in the dying light, trying not to let the sun set on my life tonight. But the embers are all ashen, and the fire's gone to gray. I'm watching every memory slowly bleed away. Hold on for a moment, just a flicker, just a spark, before I'm left to wander through the forever dark. I remember how you used to be, the midday summer heat, the way you made the pavement shimmer underneath my feet. Now you're just a ghost light in a foggy rearview glass, watching all the seasons and the colors start to pass. I'm shivering in a sweater that still smells of your cologne. It's a different kind of freezing when you're dying here alone. Don't let the blackness take the blue. Don't let the night become the only thing I knew. I'm shouting at the horizon, begging for a glow. But the world is turning steady and the mercury is low. It's the fading of the oxygen, the dimming of the flame, until I'm just a silhouette without a face or name. Yeah, I'm standing in the dying light, trying not to let the sun set on my life tonight. But the embers are all ashen, and the fire's gone to gray. I'm watching every memory slowly bleed away. Hold on for a moment, just a flicker, just a spark, before I'm left to wander through the forever dark. The sun is down, the stars are cold. Everything I wanted is a story already told in the dying light, just the dying light. Good night. I used to look up and see a map of our lives, written in the glitter where the midnight thrives. We named every cluster after dreams we hadn't lived. Now I'm looking for the comfort that the heavens used to give. But the sky is just a ceiling made of cold and hollow black, and there isn't any gravity to pull your spirit back. I'm tracing the Big Dipper with a trembling, lonely hand, trying to find a promise in this dark and lonely land. But the light is just an echo something beautiful that lost its inner glow. And now I'm wishing on empty stars tonight, 'cause they've lost their meaning and they've lost their light. They're just holes in the velvet where the love leaked out, filled with all the silence and the shadows of my doubt. The galaxy is lonely and the moon is feeling blue, looking at a universe that's missing all of you. I remember how you told me we were made of cosmic dust, two atoms in the darkness bound by gravity and trust. But now the dust has settled on your side of the bed, and I'm choking on the forever that we never should have said. I'm staring at the vacuum where the North Star used to be. It's funny how the vastness feels like it's crushing me. Are you up there somewhere in the quiet and the deep, or are you just a memory that I'm struggling to keep? I tear down the heavens just to see your face again, to find a single spark amidst this now and back then. But the sky is just an ocean, and I'm sinking in the dark, searching for the fire of a long extinguished spark. Yeah, I'm wishing on empty stars tonight, 'cause they've lost their meaning and they've lost their light. They're just holes in the velvet where the love leaked out, filled with all the silence and the shadows of my doubt. The galaxy is lonely and the moon is feeling blue, looking at a universe that's missing all of you. Just empty spaces in familiar places. The lights are on, but nobody's home. Empty stars, just empty stars and me. I'm watching the color drain out of the walls, like the winter is moving through these empty halls. I try to remember the exact shade of your eyes, but the memory is blurring like the late evening skies. I'm reaching for us, but my fingers find air, just a pale hazy outline of you sitting there. It's not a sudden storm, it's not a jagged break, it's just a slow erosion of every breath I take. The details are softening the edges around as the life we once built sinks into the ground. And I'm just slow fading like an old photograph, losing the sound of your name and your laugh. I'm a ghost in the hallway, I'm a mist on the glass, watching the best of my history pass. It's a quiet disappearing, a long soft goodbye, until I'm just a shadow in the corner of your eye. draped over the chair, but I'm starting to forget that you used to be there. The scent of your skin is a ghost on the breeze, fading away with the fall of the leaves. I'm scared of the morning when I wake up and find that I've left every piece of our ever behind. Stop the clock, hold the light, give me one more day before the last of the gold turns to silver and gray. I'm fighting the numbness, I'm chasing the sun, but the unraveling is already begun. I'm becoming a whisper, a story half told, lost in the wrinkles and the creases of old. Yeah, I'm just slow fading, like an old photograph, losing the sound of your name and your laugh. I'm a ghost in the hallway, I'm a mist on the glass, watching the best of my history pass. It's a quiet disappearing, a long soft goodbye, until I'm just a shadow in the corner of your eye, turning to cry, slipping away. Can you see me at all? I'm fading, I'm fading, gone. I'm putting on my makeup like a coat of armor plate, smiling at the neighbors, telling them I'm doing great. The kitchen floor is shining and the bed is neatly made, but there's a heavy price for all the parts that I have played. Nobody sees the wreckage underneath the Sunday best, or the way I hold my breath just to keep the panic in my chest. There's no blood on the carpet, there's no glass on the floor, just the hollow ringing silence of you walking out the door. It's a clean kind of break, a clinical divide, but you can't see the damage when it's buried deep inside. 'Cause these are quiet wounds, they don't make a sound, they don't scream for mercy, they just pull me to the ground. I'm bleeding in whispers, I'm breaking in the dark, searching for the pieces of a long extinguished spark. You can't see the scars and you can't see the bruise, but I'm dying from the things that I'm forced to keep and lose. I went to our cafe and I sat in our old seat, watching all the happy people passing on the street. They see a girl with coffee and a book she doesn't read. They don't see the internal way I started to recede. It's a masterclass in acting, it's a symphony of fine, while I'm tracing out the borders of a life no longer mine. I wish I had a bandage, I wish I had a sign to show the world the fracture in this broken heart of mine. But the hurt is invisible, the pain is paper thin, a slow and steady poisoning underneath the skin. How do you heal the things that no one knows are there, when your only conversation is a silent, desperate prayer? Yeah, these are quiet wounds, they don't make a sound, they don't scream for mercy, they just pull me to the ground. I'm bleeding in a whisper, I'm listening for you. I found a message on the machine from a year ago. Your voice was bright and hurried, and the I love you was low. I played it till the tape felt thin, till the words began to fray, trying to catch the ghost of us before it slipped away. Now I'm standing in the hallway, calling out your name, but the walls just throw it back at me, and nothing sounds the same. It's like a radio station drifting out of range, a familiar melody that's starting to sound strange. I'm reaching for the frequency, I'm turning every dial, just to hear you breathe, just to hear you for a while. And now I'm living in the land of the lost voices, a symphony of static and of broken choices. I'm shouting at the wind, I'm crying to the sea, but your words are like a tide that's pulling far away from me. The silence is a predator, the quiet is a choice in a world that's getting louder. I'm losing your voice. I close my eyes and try to hear you laughing in the rain, but the thunder's getting heavy and it's drowning out the pain. I've got your letters in a box, I've got your name upon my tongue, but the air is getting colder and the songs have all been sung. I'm terrified of the morning when I wake up in the deep and find I can't remember how you sounded in your sleep. Was it alto, was it tenor, was it soft or was it grit? I'm losing every syllable, I'm losing every bit. I'm screaming at the ceiling till my throat is burning raw, just to fill the hollow spaces that the silence never saw. Don't fade to a whisper, don't turn into a ghost. You're the only conversation that I ever needed most. But I'm living in the land of the lost voices, a symphony of static and of broken choices. I'm shouting at the wind, I'm crying to the sea, but your words are like a tide, it's pulling far away from me. The silence is a predator, the quiet is a choice in a world that's getting louder. I'm losing your voice. I'm listening for you. Are you still there? Everything is turning into white noise. Lost voices, I can't hear you anymore. I'm standing on the shoreline where the salt meets the sand, tracing out the map of us with a trembling cold hand. You're on the other side of a world that grew too wide, and I'm just watching the moon pull at the heavy aching tide. I wonder if the rain hitting your window feels the same, or if the wind out out there has forgotten how to speak my name. They say that space is empty, but it's heavy as a stone. 1,000 miles of maybe when you're waking up alone. I'm reaching through the static, I'm staring at the blue, trying to find a bridge that leads me back to you. But these are distant tears falling in the dark, too far away to catch a flame, too cold to find a spark. I'm crying for a ghost that I can no longer touch, in a world that asks for little but has taken far too much. The map is torn in silence, the stars are out of gear, and I'm just drowning in the salt of a distant tear. I saw a picture of you smiling in a city I don't know, with a different kind of winter and a different kind of snow. Do you still take your coffee with a little bit of sweet, or have the miles changed the way your heart begins to beat? I'm a postcard with no stamp, I'm a letter never sent, wondering where the always and the forever actually went. If I screamed across the ocean, would you hear the jagged sound, or would the crashing of the waves just pull my spirit down? I'm fighting with the horizon, I'm begging it to bend, to bring a soft beginning to this long and bitter end. But the world is just too round, and the sky is just too deep, and these are distant tears falling in the dark, too far away to catch a flame, too cold to find a spark. I'm crying for a ghost that I can no longer touch, in a world that asks for little but has taken far too much. The map is torn in silence, the stars are out of gear, and I'm just drowning in the salt of a distant tear. So far away, a different time, a different day. Can you feel the rain? That's just my heart in a distant tear. So far